This video is to go over the new printing function that we've added to our mobile app. There are several areas where the users will be able to access this. We'll start off by looking at the assets. Here in the asset side of the system, users are able to pop directly into the inventory and access the print barcodes right up top. On the stock side of the system, users are able to access it both from the stock item list itself, right up here at the top, but they're also able to access it directly from the inventory screen as well. The actual process for printing is very simple. We'll start off by hitting the print barcode button up top here, and this will load up. Since we're in the stock inventory grid, it'll also load up our inventory IDs, so we can simply come down and select them right here. Now, for those looking to do different label types, you do have the search button up top, and this will allow you to go through any of the system reports as well as custom labels in here. The select by is also modifiable as long as you're dealing with a system label type. Beyond that, these are predefined in the customs and are not alterable. At this point, we can come in and simply select a couple of the items and hit the print button right below. Now here, I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to my Zebra Wi-Fi. And you have the option to come down here and hit scan for available printers if you don't know the IP address. If you do, feel free to manually enter that. In our case here, we're going to go ahead and hit scan for available printers. And here we can see the printer in our list. I'm going to go ahead and select a printer. I'm going to confirm the label size that's in there since this is a system label that you can change. And then once we hit print, we'll get those printed out. All right, so right now we're going to take a look at how to set up the Zebra printer. Now, they do have a desktop app that you can download and handle just like you would setting up any other network printer. This one, I'm actually going to be covering their new mobile app that they have available through the Play Store. So with this, here, search and download the Zebra Printer Setup utility. It'll have this icon. This is specifically what we're going to be using here to set up the printer. Now, it does require access to your location, and it does also require the Bluetooth methodology. This way, it's able to connect directly to the printer via the Bluetooth connection. So, first thing to do is hit Discover Printers. This will take a couple moments, and it's going to go through and it's going to check a few different connection methodologies to find that printer. All right, so now we've found our piece in here, and with this, I'm going to go ahead and click directly on the printer, and that's going to connect us in through Bluetooth. So now we can actually see that this printer is here, and we've got a lot of connectivity options. So the first thing that we're going to do is go in here and connect it to the Wi-Fi. We're going to start off by hitting Connectivity Settings. Now from here, we're going to connect in our wireless and the host name. This is the name of the printer, so make sure that this is recognizable. Now, in the general details on here, a lot of this is not actually required. You don't have to go through and set up the additional type and prefix and suffix and everything like that, but you are welcome to if you'd like to. You do need to make sure that you put in the correct connection. What is the network that you're connecting to, the connectivity mode, and on the next page here, we're going to be putting in the actual wireless password. So with this, I'm going to cut away and then join you back here in a moment. Okay, so I've entered the password here and we're going to go ahead and proceed, and we're going to apply. That'll automatically send all of the information over to the printer, and the printer is going to need to restart here, so we'll pick this back up once that restart is completed. Once everything's properly connected, you should have a green network light here on the Zebra printer to indicate that it is part of the Wi-Fi network. Now, this is the Zebra Setup Printer utility for PC. Link in the description. They do not specifically have one for Mac, so if you are doing this via a Mac, I highly recommend use the mobile process that we just covered. This is specifically for PCs, and the assumption here is that you have the printer currently connected into the PC that we're working on via USB. That's the only way that this works specifically. Again, if you're not able to plug it in via USB, use the mobile process that we previously covered. So for here, we're going to start off with the Install New Printer button, and with this, This is going to have a few steps in the wizard that we're simply going to click through and follow here. Now, it's important to make sure that you're selecting the correct edition. These printers run at the 203 DPI, and BarCloud uses ZPL. So we want to make sure that we grab the 203 DPI ZPL edition that matches the specific model number that you're currently setting up. For the initial port, we are setting up for the USB connection here, since that's how it is currently connected. Now, the font installer here is an optional, but we do typically do this just in case you're using any unusual fonts through the printer. Now that we have the printer connected in here, we're able to go in here and actually modify how we're connecting to it. So we're going to click on the Configure Printer Connectivity here at the bottom. Now with this, we're going to go ahead and convert this over to wireless. Now again, the host name, this is the printer name. Now, while it was automatically generated in the mobile application, here come in and give it a proper name. We're going to hit next. We are confirming the appropriate band there. The WLAN country, do set this to be accurate for your particular region. When it comes to this page, make sure that you have the correct network name under the ESSID, and also make sure that you select the correct security mode and are able to put in the password. For anyone using a WPA or the PSK on here, the password is actually entered here on the next page. Now from here, unless you specifically know the advanced settings that you're getting into, ignore this section. And from here, we're going to go ahead and hit finish to send this all directly to the printer. Again, once you've completed the proper setup, you'll have both the main light and your network light turned on green. Customers with an active support contract are welcome to call support for help with this setup.